Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and I am your guide for everything Chinese medicine, and I set it all up so us Westerners can figure it out. Now today, if you can read the title of this video, we're not actually talking about Chinese medicine stuff. This is 100% Western biochem, chemistry of life, and macromolecules. Specifically, we are talking about fat. But that makes people fat. No. Okay. Now, in the diet world, because of everything that happened in the 1970s with science, people don't understand what fat is. Okay. Oil is fat. That is olive oil, canola oil, almond oil, any oil outside of what they pump out of the ground and it's black. That's something else. Okay. That is all fat. Wax, beeswax is fat. Candle wax is fat. Okay. Butter is fat. What most people think of when they think of fat is adipose. Okay. That is an insulator. It is also armor. It's fantastic for keeping heat out and heat in. It's really good at it, depending on how it's arranged and what the vasculature looks like inside. Okay. Now, in us humans, adipose is designed to keep us warm. Okay. And it's also a store of energy, and I'll get to that in a minute. So, what is so important about fat? Well, you actually need it to live. You actually need to consume fats or you will die. Okay? It's not optional. It's the way your body is made by nature because it worked. And the individuals that had that lived longer. Sorry, dude. Okay? Now, fat is also made up of these little molecules called lipids, and they actually look kind of like that. Okay? They got a little phosphorus thing up here and bunch of hydrocarbons coming down here. There's usually two. Depending on the length of any one of these will depend on how heavy of a fat that is. Your cells are actually rimmed by these. Okay? It's called a phospholipid bilayer, and it looks like that. Okay? These guys don't like water. This does. Okay? So, looks like this. Water on this side, no water in the middle. Okay? You actually need that or you don't have cells. Okay? So, fats are wonderful and extremely useful in life. Okay? They make up our cells. They form insulation. They also lubricate things. Okay? And yes, I do mean that thing. I got a video on it. It's called All About. It's been demonetized. Thanks, YouTube. It's fair. Okay. So, how is it then that people that eat fatty foods tend to get fat? It's because fat tastes so good. Okay? Our little tiny brains really like the taste of it. The taste of fat also tells the body, this is good for you, it's loaded with energy, eat some. Now, animal fat, when you consume it, triggers what is called satiation. So, when you get that big chunk of animal fat, body says, okay, we're good, we got plenty of energy now, you go ahead and stop eating. Okay? So, why then do people go like this? Because fat is also very high energy. The thing is, what's actually making them fat isn't fat. It's sugar. Okay? And I'll do a video on that later. Or did I do a truth about sugar? Anyway. What your body does is it takes in everything that you eat and breaks it down into first what it needs to build. So it takes the proteins and turns it into, meat. That's you. And it also does the same thing with fat. It recombines stuff and you go from substance A to something completely different. okay? Or it breaks it down into a form that you can actually burn as energy, okay? You snap the molecule apart and harvest what comes off, okay? That specific molecule is called glucose, which is what all of your cells run on. 2 glucoses make up a sucrose, that's called sugar, okay? Now, the sugar is really easy to work with, so that's why we like to use it. Fat, on the other hand, even though it's much more energy dense, it's really hard to break it apart. And that's because of all the stuff that goes on with it, and all of the extra things that it has on it, like phosphorus and nitrogen. Well, that's more protein. It's more of a protein fat complex thing anyway. So when you eat too much that you don't need, the body stores it, okay? And it will store it in very key areas that it can carry nice and easy. It's going to store it more towards the center of mass. Now, as that fills up, it's going to extend outward ever so more, okay? And thicken, 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 all right? So feel free to eat fat to your heart's content, okay? It's not going to make you fat, except that if you eat too much, yes, it's going to, because that's just what happens, okay? So there really isn't a such thing as good fats and bad fats. It's more along the lines of what's with it, okay? How is it spiced? What season are you in? Okay, yes, you should eat according to season. In the United States, we don't have that ability because everything is available all the time. Okay? And no, you don't need to eat meat every single day. I would advise eating it once in a while, though. Okay? So, in regards to fats, use your best judgment. You can eat them. Okay? And if you're eating and cooking in oil, you're still eating fats, okay? And no, cooking the oil does not destroy the oil. Not unless you don't understand how cooking works, okay? You'll destroy the oil if you're a bad cook, and then your food tastes like crap, and everybody says you stink because, well, you're eating bad food, okay? Be smart with it. Do some research, get a freaking organic chemistry book. Okay, this stuff is fascinating, all right, if you can get it in the right format, all right? So that's about all I've got for you today. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, and feel free to share and subscribe. I already said subscribe, but that's okay. If you'd like to get in touch with me, visit my website at vigintmed.com. That stands for Vigorelli Integrated Medicine.com. You can even shoot me an email. I do want to say one thing, though. I've had a few people internationally contact me for consultations on herbs. I'm sorry, guys. I legally cannot do that. It's far too risky, and while it can kind of point you in the right direction, I don't want to do any sort of consultation on that, because prescribing something when I can't see the patient can actually hurt the patient, okay? So any international consults for herbs, I'm sorry, but I cannot do them, and I do apologize. So, with that out of the way, I'll be back again later with something else. You take care, guys. Bye now.